right, everybody, welcome to the Jersey City Marathon Episode 1 Redemption Arc 2025. First of all, Happy New Year's to every single person that is watching this. Hopefully you're having an amazing start of the year. And yeah, pretty much Episode 1, attempting a Sub 250 marathon at the Jersey City. And I'll tell you guys later in the video why I decided to go for a Sub 250. But before anything, we do have to go back 2 weeks before to my training, which started 2 weeks ago. So yeah, let's roll some of that footage now. January 1st, 2025. It's Wednesday. All right, so first run back since last week was our injury. So if you watched the previous clip, I pulled my IT band or quad. I don't know what it was. Essentially, I was doing some hack squats, and I think I went a little bit too heavy, and my left leg gave up, and well, like I pulled something, and it's been hurting since then. It still hurts now, but I honestly didn't want to like not start because the prep was supposed to start Monday, so I didn't want to delay anymore and just sit my ass home and do nothing. So I decided to just put on my shoes and lace them up and go for the run. And right now the pain's still there. It's not as, I would say, like hurtful. It's still there. It's like that little ache. Have you ever been punched? You know that pain that comes afterwards is like that. So I'm doing a lot of foam rolling, a lot of stretching, so hopefully that helps out. But yeah, today we're just gonna start with 5 miles easy, just to let the legs warm up and then start building from that. But yeah, first run back, man. New year, let's make it happen. Jersey City, Episode 1. Let's go. Okay, so as you may have seen, I pulled my IT band on my left leg about 2 weeks ago, prior to me starting my prep, or a week prior to me starting my prep. So that delayed the process. So I was supposed to start my prep December 30th, which is that Monday, or that first week of January. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But on January 1st, my leg was still sore, but I just decided to put on my shoes and suck it up, honestly. I was like, January 1st, I can't miss the first day of the new year of not running. So I just decided to suck it up, and I went for a run, went for a 5 mile easy run. And then from that weekend, which was Saturday, I was supposed to have a long run, 13 miles easy. It was still hurting. I honestly just pushed through the last 2 miles, which were hard, just because that left leg the IT band was still sore. But thankfully, things did get better the following week. And that's when the week of January 6th came in, and that's when I started to feel a lot better, started to recover a little bit more, and I started to do 7 miles a day. So that was, I'll put the things here, of each day, 7 miles, and no speed sessions yet because it was still hurting. And this is where things get even more interesting. So why do I say things got really interesting? So that week, on Thursday, I was still in New York, by the way, because I was visiting family for the holidays. I went for my 7 mile run. Now, usually I take this very route that I know, and if you ever ran the New York City Marathon, 4th Avenue is pretty much my route that I take. Is very close to my home. And so it's a 3.5 mile out and 3.5 mile in or back. So I was already at 3.5 miles in, and then I was coming back already home. And then by the 4th mile, if you guys ever been to New York, like the train things, you know how it's underground, they have like these little metal things on top. Regardless, I was in the street, and I didn't see it because it was still dark. It was about like 6:20 a.m. Still dark out there. I tripped on one of those, but I was, I guess, going fast. I don't know how fast I was going, but essentially I tripped. And when I tripped, my left knee took the toll again. And pretty much, I wanted to scream so bad because that's how much like I scraped it, and that's how bad it hurted. I don't know how I finished the run, to be honest with you. I pretty much got home, and then when I saw, after I took a shower and everything, I had some bruises. But my left knee pretty much swelled up entirely. Like it swelled up really bad. And I got some scrapes here from that. But that was Thursday. So very, very big haul, very big trip. So that was Thursday, January 9th. That was that Thursday. Now, I was still in New York, like I mentioned, and then I got back to Texas or Dallas this past Friday night. My flight left around 8 p.m. landed here about 1 a.m. Saturday morning. So that Saturday I had scheduled 14 miles, and I was supposed to do some speed work. I couldn't because my left knee was still hurting. So I decided to take it very easy and just did a 14-mile easy run. Now, if you have heard, Dallas got some snowstorm or some snow. It wasn't that bad, but the loop that I usually do here is called White Rock Lake. And on that trail or that loop, there was still some ice on some bridges. Now, if you ever run that park or that loop, or if you ever run any kind of park or loop, you know sometimes those bridges, the ice or the snow just becomes ice. In some sense, it doesn't melt because it might have shade for whatever reason. So I was on my run, and by mile 4 again, I didn't realize I was crossing one of the bridges. At the end of it, as you're going down, I didn't realize that there was still some ice left at the end, and I slipped. And I don't know if you guys ever seen Home Alone, where like the guy like slips and he goes like all the way up. That's how pretty much I went, and my left hip, lower back, and like my right glute. I'm sorry, my right back, hip, right glute, and you can see here my arm pretty much got banged up. And it was so funny because someone from the run club that we usually go to here in Dallas, he saw me and he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I think I saw you just bust your butt." So that was pretty funny. But I don't know how I finished that run as well because it took the air out of me. It was a really bad slip, I will say. So I don't know how I finished it. I was able to do 14 miles easy. So this is the splits here. And essentially, it hasn't been the best. It's been a rough start of the prep and a rough start of 2025. But one thing I learned is, hey, we're just rolling with the punches right now. I know things are going to get better, much better soon. One of the reasons why I decided to just push back that 245 marathon and decided to aim for a tough 250 marathon at Jersey City. The reason being is, again, the prep has been delayed 2 weeks already. Haven't really done much speed sessions. Now, I know I still have another 12 weeks to work. But the way I'm thinking about it is I'm giving myself to build more momentum, right? I'm coming off a really good prep. Unfortunately, CM didn't work out as it was supposed to. But I know Jersey City is going to be a great one. And what I don't want is for me to go into that race or that day or that marathon and for me to not hit the goal again and get disappointed and discouraged. I rather tell myself, listen, I'm going to go for the sub 250 and I'm going to give it my best and build momentum from that to go into a full marathon and there go for a sub 245 or even a sub 240. I don't know. But that's the way I'm thinking about it. And I think these past 2 weeks have been a testament of just taking things slow, but taking things smart. So that's why I decided to, instead of doing a sub 245, I'm gonna aim for a sub 250. If things go better, we never know throughout this prep. But yeah, that's gonna be my goal for the Jersey City Marathon. All right, finishing up here my 13-mile long run this morning with some marathon pace workouts. But as you can probably see from the title of the video, it is marathon training work day. Now, I think like anything in life, there's always pros and cons to everything. So let's start with the cons. As always, the reason people say they don't want to do marathon is because it's time consuming, right? No more reason. It's time consuming. From training 4 to 5, even 6 times a week, to having your long runs on a Saturday and a Sunday, and not being able to socialize as much. Right, because a long run might take you anywhere between 1.5 to 2 hours to 2.5 hours a day sometimes, well, especially on Saturday and Sundays. Sleeping earlier, right? Not being able to stay up as much as you want. So that's the other fact. On top of that, sometimes if you have family, you're running a business, you might not have that much time to get to the training and train for it. But one quote I learned is, if it matters to you, you'll make time for it. Second is you get injured. Now, if you're starting a marathon or it's your first ever marathon, you should always recommend hiring a coach to walk you through the first steps, because you never want to go with cold feet. That's how you get injured.
So if that's your concern, hiring a coach is probably your best option. So that's the solution for you right there. Another con that many people will talk about is that it's expensive. Now, I won't lie to you. Yeah, signing up for that race, that half, that full marathon, it costs you some money. Your running shoes, gels, supplements, right? If you're training in the winter, like all the gear you have to buy to not get cold, or in the summer as well, right? Shades, hat, all those things. And if you do a marathon outside where you live, you might have to pay for flights, hotels, etc., etc. All right, so I just finished my run right now, 13 miles here in White Rock Lake. It is cold as a mother freaker. Dallas didn't know it got this cold. I think it was like low 20s, felt like 5, but it was really cold. It was super windy too. I don't know if you guys heard when I was talking in the GoPro prior to this, the wind, but yeah, it was super windy. Tough day, but we got the work done. It was 13 miles. It was 7 miles a marathon pace within that, so I was able to nail most of the paces. But yeah, I know there's a lot of work to do, especially coming back trying to get fast again. But anyways, the reason the video is marathon training worth it? I gave you guys my cons, I'll give you guys now my pros. So the first thing that I will say about marathon training is the fact that you build a lot of discipline. Now, you might think, yeah, I could just build discipline doing anything else. No, but with marathon training, it's waking up every day, whether it's in the morning or in the afternoon, you gotta get the run done. And that makes you super disciplined, because even when you don't want to do it, you do the work because you know that you have a goal to achieve. Secondly, for me, is that when you're in marathon training, I love it because it gives me a goal to look at. When I'm not training for a marathon or I don't have a goal, right, I feel like a chicken without a head. I don't know what I'm doing with my life at that point, because I don't know if I need to wake up early, if I need to train, or I'm pretty lost. But when I'm in marathon training, I know that, all right, I have Monday through Friday this amount of miles, Saturday is my long run, and I have like a schedule. I have something that I'm like looking forward to. So I love being schedulized. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, that's my second reason why marathon training is dope. The reason why I love marathon training, because it builds a better perspective in you. It builds that self-image, that sense that you could go for more. You know, you think that, especially living in this world that we live in, sometimes we tend to doubt ourselves a lot. That, oh man, I can't do that. I can't go for that business because I don't have all this knowledge, I don't have this money to go for it, or I can't get this degree because I'm not smart enough. When you do marathon training, we all start at the same place. Like, no one is better than anybody. We all start running our first mile and it sucks. We start like we're out of breath. Our first 5 miles, our first 10 miles, and then we slowly start building. And that's why I love marathon training, because it builds you that sense of, man, like, I could actually do this. Like, my body is so capable of doing this. But it's not the body, but rather the mind, because the mind is the one that pushes to the end, right? When you're in marathon, mile 20, 21, it hurts and your body wants to stop, your body wants to shut down, but the mind is like, no, like, you work for this, time to make it happen. So it builds that perspective that, man, I can do so much more than I could ever believe in myself. But you do it by building those steps, those reps with marathon training day by day by day. For a reason, I guess, is like, to sum all this up, is the fact that when you're in, once you do the marathon, or once you're in a marathon and you cross the finish line, you hear this often, right? Super cliche, but it's about crossing the finish line. That's not really the end of it, or that's not like the reward. The reward is all those months, all those days that you train for it. That's what makes it special, because you train so hard for it that when you cross that finish line, it is so damn worth it. When you put that medal, it's like all those hours of dedication, of work. Now, if the cons are the ones that push you away, I hope that these pros are the ones that make you go for it, because it's a special feeling that you can't really describe it. You just gotta live it. So if it's whether your first half marathon or your first marathon, I will highly suggest it. For me, marathon training is so damn worth it. It is so special. It is the work that gets done, that gets unseen, that many people might not see you do, but you know yourself, you're doing it, and that's what makes it super special. So I believe marathon training is worth it. I think marathon itself is super worth it. Yeah, it might be expensive, but at the end of the day, money doesn't compare to that feeling you get of, man, I did something for me, for myself, not for anybody else watching, not for this, that person, but for your own damn self, that you were able to do it. So yeah, we're gonna continue this prep. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hope you guys stay along so we get to Jersey City. I have unfinished business with the marathon at CAM, DNF, but we're coming back to Jersey City in a couple weeks. Felt super better today, so first episode down. I wish you guys the best. As always, si se puede. Let's make this happen, and see you guys on the next video. Peace.